When I was in 7th grade, I met this girl in my bus and her name was Lexi. Well, me and Lexi got really close. My middle school was divided into 3 different schools, so me and Lexi went to the same school but a different section of our school, and we also took the same bus. Anyways, one day when I was walking to class through one of the schools, I saw this cute-ass guy, and I asked her about him cause she went to school with him, and she told me that it was one of her friends. And that if I wanted her to mention me to him, well, of course I want you to mention me to him, bitch, I think he's cute. Well, he sent me a little note telling me I was cute or whatever, and then we kept sending notes to each other. But one day as I was walking through one of the schools to get to my class, I saw him with a group of friends and they all started laughing at me. I got really embarrassed and didn't know what was happening, so I went to see Lexi to ask her why he was laughing at me.
Okay, so one time in 7th grade I spent the night at my boyfriend's house, and we were night swimming and I had to use the bathroom, and realized I started my period. I was literally just 13, and started a few months before, and never knew how to use a tampon, so I was looking for one. Then I remembered he lived with his grandma who had already went through menopause, so I don't find anything. But I needed something, so me being the stupid effing genius, I went to the kitchen, and looked for a sponge. I found one. It was new and clean by the way, but cut the scrubby green side off, so I was just left with the yellow. Anyway, I went back to the bathroom, and shoved it up my cooch. I went back and swam. I was gone for some time, so I told him I took a shit. Anyway, we were done swimming, and I went to take a dish sponge out of my cooch, and it was so far up there I was crying. And once I finally took it out, the inside of my coochie walls were literally so torn up it felt like Gordon Ramsay himself cut up some chicken. Anyway, I was in the shower crying. BC, I was in so much pain.
In 7th grade we had this one teacher, let's call her Miss Shrek, and she was really nice and she would always make my day, but there was this one boy in my class and that fucking dumbass was rude to almost every teacher in the school. But let's call that bitch Jake. Miss Shrek taught math and our next class was math, and we all sat down and everything was fine at first, but as Miss Shrek started to teach the lesson, no other than fucking Jake started to laugh, make jokes, be a distraction in any way he could, like bitch shut the fuck up, and he would basically not listen to her whatsoever. And keep in mind this would happen every fucking day. I low-key felt really bad for her. That poor thing must have been going through a tough time because she fucking lost it. She started screaming at him, throwing stuff across the room, breaking down crying, and telling him that he made her want to quit her job, and that's exactly what she did. She ran out that motherfucking door and left us in the classroom. We had no idea what the fuck was happening. We all thought she just went to go to the bathroom, so we just sat in the classroom processing what just happened, waiting for her to come back. Sooner or later the bell rang and it was time for lunch, and nobody was there to tell us we could go, so we fucking wasted our time and we all just sat in the classroom waiting for something to happen. Eventually after lunch the principal came and we explained everything, and for the rest of the year we had a substitute. Turns out that hoe left the building without telling anyone and never came back. Oh, and if you're wondering what happened to Jake, he got expelled. He deserved. In 7th grade we had sex ed class, so while the teacher was talking about birth control, my fucking clown ass screamed, "Show us a condom." Oh my fucking gosh. Anyways, clearly I was one of the only dirty fucks that knew about it because all the innocent kids started talking about it. Since the teacher was fucking useless, she had to show us. Some kid really fucking thought it was a balloon. Bitch, what? When we passed it around, that dumbass tried to blow it up. I nearly pissed myself laughing at him, but unfortunately he got bullied every day about it until he moved away. Till this day I fucking love how innocent he was. Ha smirking cat face. This was my first public fight. In 1st grade I was at an after-school club thing that kids go to so they can do homework, and it basically keeps kids busy. Since they give free rides home and I was fucking homeless, they always had to take me to the homeless shelter I was staying at, so the kids always got to see where I and my siblings were staying. On the way back to the shelter one day, this ugly-ass period blood-smelling bitch started making fun of me and my siblings because we were poor. I told her to shut the fuck up and she punched me in the face. The driver stopped the car and made us get out. We got in a fight and I knocked that bitch teeth out. Now she looking like Peaches without teeth, that roach-infested rubber ducky. Ass fucky. Teeth bucky. Dad is a cucky. Mom is a slutty. Period bloody ass bitch. Did I mention we were 3 grades apart? Anyway, I went back to the shelter with a black eye and she went home with her remaining teeth all crooked. That hoe got what she deserved. Always be kind to the people less fortunate. Anyways, in 10th grade during lunch, the mean popular girl started to walk up to me and my friends and grabbed my muffin and threw it in my face to impress the new kid. I went off on that dumb bitch because I wanted to eat the motherfucking muffin. I dragged that bitch across the lunchroom and we fought and I accidentally broke her nose. Dumb bitch, that's what you get for wasting my fucking muffin. And I dated the new kid, so who's the bad bitch now? Brittany. Period sis, go off. One time in 3rd grade I was friends with this girl. Let's call her Karen. And she used to have us play this game during recess, but we'd fall down and have flashbacks, and in the ground there were dragons, and I was starting to think she didn't think it was a game, and so I started hanging out with another girl instead and we were vibing. But one day I hung out with Karen again and she went up to a tree and was talking to it and she told me this tree is very sick and she started chanting at it, and 1 week later a huge part of that tree had fallen down and I was like, So there's this bitch in my class and she used to be my best friend anyways. We were in geography class and this dusty, musty, crusty, Siberian husky hoe had the audacity to fat shame this kid that I'm good friends with, and everyone laughed like it literally wasn't funny, but okay. Keep in mind this isn't the first time this bitch has done this. Like, she literally bullied my best friend and basically everyone. Anyways, I was so over this Oompa Loompa looking ass, so I got up and screamed in her face. Then she has the audacity to scream at me like, what the fuck are you gonna do? You are literally 5 foot and skinnier than Lil Huddy. I got so fucking pissed off that I just slapped her across the fucking face and told her to shut the fuck up. Everyone was just watching and my teacher couldn't give 2 fucks. I'm pretty sure he hated her too. She makes fake black eyes with purple glittery eyeshadow and says she got in a fight with 14 guys. Like, bitch, you aren't fooling anyone. She looks like Donald Trump's long lost twin with her orange fake ass tan. She wears the biggest fake eyelashes to school. Like, why the fuck, it literally looks like you are going to fly away with those butterflies. Holy shit. Her dress is up her ass and is flashing everyone most of the time. She wears like 12 bras to make her tits look big. Like, sis, you are flatter than a piece of paper, and she tries to get with everyone. No one wants to get with you, you ratchet hoe. This one time when I was little, I thought I could talk to trees because I had no friends, and I used to sit by them and say things, and one day I was talking to my tree friend called Kevin, and this girl went up to me and said, "Are you talking to that tree, freak?" And I started crying and hugged onto the tree, and while she was laughing, one of the branches fell on the girl's head. Thanks, Kevin. One time when I was at a friend's house, we were prank calling and we decided to call our local strip club. We called them and asked them what you have to do to become a stripper, and she told us the requirements and pay and more. She asked if we were 18 or older and we said we were 17, about to turn 18. At this point she was telling us to come in and do an interview. We eventually told her we were kids and she hung up, and we got a call from a different number. It was her mobile phone and she had our address and our parents' number. We were scared, so we hung up, but my friend was terrified that she would call her parents, and her parents were strict. We blocked both numbers and went to bed. I was in 5th grade. We were having a Halloween party in our classroom, and our classroom was split in 2 with a little wall and door, but it was still in the same room. So the other teacher in the other class came over and called my teacher, and she put a movie on and said, "I'll be right back." So me and my little friends are wondering what they are doing because he's always calling her out, and then they be gone for 20 to 30 minutes. So we followed them and they went in the staff's room and nobody else was in there, so we were trying to peek through the window, but it was tinted, and one of my friends dared me to open the door and I said no because I was scared, and then they triple dog dared me, so then I just had to do it cause mama ain't raised no bitch. I was really scared, and it had been 10 minutes already, but I slowly turned the handle and it was locked, so me and
One time at lunch, my best friend wanted to make out with a boy in the bathroom and asked me to take the second girl's pass so that nobody could come to the bathrooms, and the boy's friend did the same. Then we all went to the bathroom and my friend went into the boy's bathroom, so I left her there and she said she would be back in 10 minutes. After 10 minutes I went back to the bathroom and she was still in there, so I thought she was going to get raped, so I burst in and saw my friend crying. I grabbed her arm and tried to drag her out, but then a teacher came in and detained us all as if it was a motherfucking crime scene. They told us to give them our phones and I got to go to the office, and the teacher questioned me like it was a Q&A, like, bitch, fuck off. Then she let me go and back to class, and I started having a panic attack.
So there's this one time I asked my mother, "Why was you and daddy making all those noises?" And she told me how she was baking a cake, so I wanted to bake a cake too, so I asked my friend to come over so we can bake a cake, and when she came she was confused. So we was just standing staring at each other naked. Next thing you know, we just starting making moaning noises to bake the cake like my mom said, and she walked in on us.
When I was younger, I was in Walmart and I was eating a tube of Pringles and I ate them while my mom paid, but I forgot to let the guy scan them, so I walked out the Walmart and the alarm went off and I just started running because I got scared, and my mom couldn't find me because I was hiding behind the newspaper things, and the Walmart people called the police because I was missing, and when I hear them show up I thought I was a criminal, so I left my mom a note on the newspaper that said I went to Mexico to start a new life and not come looking for me, and then I took off running with my Pringles and ran for like an hour, and then the cops saw me walking down the road, so they pulled over, so I started running again, and then they were using the car intercom thing and they told me to stop running. So when I did, I thought they were gonna put me in handcuffs and take me to jail, so I was crying and I slapped the officer in the stomach and tried to run again, but he just held me back, and when he asked me what happened to me and I told him, he started crying because he was laughing so hard. and he just gave my mom $2 for the Pringles and he was still laughing when he left. And that's the time I was a wanted criminal.
One time when I was 4 or 5, I was watching TV in my parents' bedroom because my brothers were playing video games on the other TV. I was just laying on their bed while watching TV. Then I found a round pink squishy ring. Only being 5, I thought that it was a bracelet, so I put it around my wrist and went on with my day. Later that day I showed my mom my new bracelet and she looked horrified and told me to take it off immediately and wash my hands. At the time I had no idea why she made it such a big deal, but a few years later I found out it was my dad's cock ring that I had touched with my bare hands and wore as a bracelet. So yeah, heart. So basically my older male cousin, let's call him Jason, was spending the night at my house when I was in 4th grade. At the time he was a junior in high school and had a girlfriend. So basically he was kinda getting all touchy and feely with me when we were watching Shrek in the living room. Fast forward to bedtime, everyone else was asleep, but I had to get some water. So I went into the kitchen as Jason was just coming out of the bathroom. I felt his presence as soon as he walking through the doorway to get into the kitchen. He wrapped his hand around my waist and the other he covered my mouth. I tried to scream but he didn't care. His hand let go of my waist and he took off his pants and took off mine. He kept kissing my neck and saying, "Shush, you like this," so I believed him and closed my eyes and waited for it to end. I never told anybody and to this day, I haven't come to terms with it.
Okay, so here's my story. So a girl at our school lies about everything. She is a pathological liar. She once told me that she moved to our school from Hawaii and that they lived in huts. She would also speak gibberish claiming it was a real language. We got a student from Guatemala who didn't speak English and this bitch would literally speak her weird-ass language to him acting like it was Spanish. The new kid looked super confused. Then after a while I got sick of it and called her out on all her lies. Then she admitted to lying. Then she continued to keep with the lies, so I would keep calling that bitch out and she kept telling me that it was real. And for a bit of karma, a girl that actually lived in Hawaii came to our school, so when she told the girl her Hawaii lie she went TF no, we don't live in huts in front of everyone, and she cried. I hate that girl so. Once when I was in 8th grade there was this boy that every girl in school liked, even me. I have to say he was pretty cute, but not to the point I would want to go out with him. He had a history with all of my friends, so it was kinda awkward. Anyways, we had like 4 classes together and a lot of friends in common, so obviously we hang out a lot. He started getting more touchy and ming me all the time. One thing led to another and then we were talking. Nothing exclusive. I just wanted to see if he wasn't a fuckboy after all. We talked for months and I thought, like an idiot, that he actually wanted me. But then one day before graduation he was all friendly and touchy with this girl I didn't talk much to. He even gave her his hoodie. For some reason I wasn't hurt, but it made me feel uncomfortable, so me, as the bad bitch I am, decided to use an school approved dress for when I had to walk up in the stage. But after I changed in this long elegant but sexy dress for the after party, he couldn't take his eyes off me. And even asked me to dance bachata with him. To this day he still sends me thirsty DMs and is the first one to like my pics. I think I won. When I was in 11th grade I met this boy named Ricky at a high school party and we were vibing and chilling, and out of nowhere this girl comes and starts pushing me saying why was I near her mans, and she started throwing cups at me and bottles, and Ricky grabbed me by the waist and kissed me in front of her and told me she has been toxic all their relationship, and the next day at school she tried fighting me and I brought my older sister with me and we dragged her across the auditorium. When I was 4 my uncle died and my mom was talking to my aunt and crying, but I was throwing a fit because she never took my Pop-Tarts out of the toaster and they were the limited edition winter ones, so I was excited for those bitches. And she told me my uncle died and I said, "Okay, where's my Pop-Tart?" She threw away the box, fucking bitch. Once in like 4th grade we were in class doing work and suddenly the principal told us we were going into lockdown and that it was not a drill. So we all got into the corner of the room and someone banged and shook the door aggressively and we were all scared and about to cry except me because I was a little psychopath and I thought the thrill was fun. Anyways, after a while we were all told to go into the gym by police. A cop, by the way. They were yelling at us to go when kids were pissing themselves probably. So we got to the gym and the principal told us it was actually just a drill and none of it was real, and I will never ever forgive that fat So one day I was on the bus and I got a Snapchat notification from some dude named Ethan. I opened it up and he texted me saying hi and asked for a picture. I sent him one and he called me hot, so we started talking for the next week. This was the one fucking guy that gave me attention, so I was like, yes bitch, finally. He said he lived in Texas but he had one of those sus ass no bitmoji Snapchats. Anyways, long story short, I sent him nudes lol. I felt okay because my dumb fucking self thought he lived in Texas. Later to find out he had hit up every girl in my school with his fake account, including my best friend. Me and my best friend were the only ones that sent nudes to him. Every other girl was clowning him and saying he was a creep except for our dumbasses because we were so fucking slow. He later told us how he didn't live in Texas and lived in the Bay Area, so I started freaking the fuck out and blocked him. Anyways, me and my bestie went to school the next day embarrassed and sad as fuck that we fell for him, and Chile, me and my bestie went in the bathroom and cried together. Moral of the story: fuck men 2020. In 4th grade I got boobs. And a boy kept popping my bra. My teacher told me the all boys will be boys. So I invited the boy under the slide for a peek at my bra. I told him to close his eyes. And then I kicked him square in the nuts. I laughed all the way to detention. In our school we took lockdowns pretty seriously as we are sort of in an unsafe town. We were doing our usual classwork in math when we heard the lockdown bell go off and the principal's voice came on through the machine and said it wasn't a drill. We were advised to go under the tables and lock all the doors, but our teacher was new and she didn't think it was real. She said, "Why is everyone sitting under their desk? It's just a stupid alarm." She opened the curtains back up and the girls started crying because they were scared of what our teacher was doing. One of the guys in my class said, "Are you stupid? We are all going to die." She made him sit next to the window as punishment and she said, "I hope you get shot first." Everyone reported her but nothing happened. One time me and my baddie's friends were playing Roblox and we were playing bacon and some girls were camping, so me and my friends told them what state and city we live in and we gave them our Instagram, and the next day we all got messages from some girls in a group chat and they said they were gonna call a gang on us, but the baddies we told them we were ready, and then they came and shot up my friends, but I told them I would have sex with them, so they.
When I was in 7th grade I was planning on doing it in the boys' bathroom with my boyfriend, and when we got undressed together in the big stall a boy walked in and heard us, and he looked under the stall and saw us butt naked with my boyfriend's D and me. He took a video and showed the whole school and we got suspended. Now we are broken up and I still think about that day.
In 3rd grade I had this one Asian teacher who was legit 19 years old and it was her first year teaching. Back then I was a big bully and thought I was better than everyone else, which was actually true, but we don't talk about it anyway. She always had her boyfriend come in and help cut papers and shit. That boy was pale as fuck and looked like he weighed as much as a box of Cliff Bars. He would wear scarves all the time and gay ass shoes, so I started a rumor that he was a gay vampire. The rumor spread very fast until one day this kid told his mom about it. His mom was on the PTA and she told my 3rd grade teacher she had to have a talk with our class about it and how it was hurtful to spread rumors like, "Shut the fuck up bitch, it was just a joke." She asked who started it and this one girl that smelled like the bottom of a mayo jar snitched on me like, "What the fuck, I will literally spit on you bitch." My teacher took me out to the hallway and told me that was very rude of me and what I said was wrong. Then I called her a homophobe because she thinks that being gay is wrong. She kept saying no, that's not what she said, but I was like, "Bitch, that was what came out of your mouth." While I was arguing with this girl, the principal of my school walked by and asked what was going on. I said that the teacher was being homophobic and said that being gay was wrong. My principal had a gay daughter, so she yelled at my teacher and then told me to go back to class and handed me a sticker. I eased my way out of that, and then my 3rd grade teacher quit 4 weeks later. In the 6th grade my crush, his twin, and I were sitting together at lunch and they both were pissing me off at lunch, so while my crush and his twin and I were walking to class they kept pissing me off, so I threw a book at their big ass head. And we ended up fighting in front of our whole 4th period class. It was 2 against 1, so we kept on fighting while the teachers watched because they knew we were just playing around, and I ended up smacking their neck and pulling their curls. Anyways, after that New Year's came and I was so happy I got a paragraph from him, but later to find out he copied the same exact paragraph he gave to my best friend and he gave hers first because we checked the times. Anyways, me being petty, I didn't tell him happy birthday, only his twin. And anyways, he kept being a straight up bitch, so not too long ago he broke his kneecap and texted me saying I broke my kneecap, and I told him, "Do you want a cookie?" because he made me so fucking mad. I'm blocked now. This one is my story, but anyways, I have an older brother named Julio and he was drunk one day and he had went outside for some reason. Hours passed and me and my sister-in-law went to go look for him, but we thought he was just going for a walk since he always does. Minutes after that a policeman comes to our door saying there's a crazy man in underwear running around, and we were like, what the fuck? Then after a while we heard a noise outside and we thought it was that crazy man. To my sister-in-law, Went outside and looked for some dumbass reason, and that's when we saw my brother standing in a crop top and shorts that didn't fit his fat ass, and we asked why was he looking like that. He said he went to ask a neighbor for a beer and he didn't notice. He wasn't wearing any clothes and we just laughed at him. Then my sister-in-law dragged him by the ear into the shower, and yes, so anyone please adopt him because I'm tired of having dumbass brothers. So this year some person made a Insta and said they are going to shoot up my school, so everyone was freaking out. Almost nobody went to school that day, but my parents thought it would be fake and let me go to school. Everyone was leaving early because they said they're gonna start the shooting at 1:30, so like we couldn't go to the restroom the whole day with we to stay in the classrooms, and the orchestra people had to get checked with the metal detector and get their instrument checked. And guess what, the person never came, so yeah, lol. One time me and my sister went to a sleepover at my best friend's house, and she has divorced parents. Anyways, that's not the point. My sister and my best friend was upstairs in her room and I was hungry, so I went downstairs to go get a snack, and I seen her mother with my math teacher on the couch making out, and I got scared, so I ran up the stairs and told my friend, and she ran down screaming at her mother why she was with our math teacher, and after that night I never seen that math teacher ever again. One time I was dating this guy for almost a year and things were pretty serious. One day we both had family parties on the same day, so he went to his and I went to mine. While I was there, I was sitting at a table with my cousin when this guy walked in. I was like, he looks exactly like my boyfriend. Turns out we are third cousins and I have been sleeping with him for a whole year.